Because what is identifying a trend? What is identifying support and resistance? If you are not able to actually capitalize on that, you are a beginner trader and you're tired of scrolling through countless of how to trade like a beginner video. Now in this video, I'm going to show you the best strategy that any beginner trader should actually use. You're going to be able to identify key resistance and support levels, as well as be able to identify and capitalize on the overall movement that the market is going to give. Now, what I will be saying here will help you to be able to ride the momentum till the end of the trend, and that's where you're going to maximize on every pip that the market is going to give. I'm going to start by showing you the breakout strategy, which is one that always, most of the times, happens on the Nasdaq and also on US30. That is why you're always seeing me capitalizing on breaking out of the highs, or well, we never really have breakouts of the lows because we are always trending to the upside on these indices. Now, the very basic thing, yes, after identifying the trend, is to identify the key levels in the market. Enter your trades at those key levels. When the price breaks out, you could actually call this a trend continuation strategy. This week that we just closed was nothing short of amazing. If you did watch that video, the previous video that I just dropped, we were actually holding over 1,800 pips on the Nasdaq and almost 1,000 pips on US30, or vice versa, one of those two. And we decided to actually capitalize on US30 by, entering another trade and then adding positions to that trade. Now, if you've been listening to what I was saying, I said that we are on an uptrend. We should identify key levels. That helps me to actually get a sniper entry right over here. If we go on to our US30 trade on Thursday, we were in this trade at a point of interest at this level. I gave this as a limit in the inner circle, and as you can see, we had already hit our second take profit. This was a sniper entry. Look at that. I gave it at, well, yeah, gold dealt with us at first, but I gave a limit at 43,700 on US30, and this is exactly that level. So to be able to get these type of entries, say that you utilize your buying limits, your sell stops, or you're always going to be staring at the chart such that when the market gets to that point of interest, you immediately enter the trade. But in this case, I gave it as a limit order. When the market got to that level, it tapped on it and then started moving up to the top, and that helped us get a zero drawdown type of trade, as you can see. So we are in the trade. The real trading started right over here. Obviously, you know that we hit our first second take profit. We want to close most of our trades, so we always want to take partial profits, put our stop loss in entry so that we end up with a risk-free trade. And then obviously the market played around as usual. It did not actually end up going to the top. It's over 20 hours and the market was just forming a little range right over here. And then the next day I then decided to check the market during the New York session also, and at this time we were already having volatility in the market. I had already dropped this signal for the free signal group. Now, if you're not in that group, the link is in the description below. Do not go on Telegram and try to type out the name of this group, because you're going to end up in a wrong group that offers investments. I don't offer no investments. All of my links and contact details are linked down in the description below, so make sure that you click on all of that if you want the correct thing. This was when the market was around about this level right over here. You can clearly see that we all managed to catch the movement to the upside, and at this point you can see now what we're talking about is at that level we have a resistance level, right? And then the market has gotten to that resistance level. We're on an uptrend. What do you expect the market to do? To form higher highs. I want to add positions because I know that if it wants to continue with a healthy trend, it's going to give me new highs. So at that point I told the inner circle to add positions to US30, and at this point I just let the market run with my trades to see where it could actually take us. We did face a little bit of drawdown as the market was not just going to start moving. This was like 1 hour. I was trading on the 1 hour time frame at the spot. You can clearly see that we ended up having over 40-50 pips right over there. The market did go up to the top, so the 1 hour candle did not close bearish. It kept moving to the upside with great momentum, which gave us our first take profit on the added positions of 60 pips right over there. And then we decided to close all of our trades and left only one trade with stop loss in profit, for the very same reasons that I say that the market does not just push up to the top. So you always want to capitalize and then lock in your profits so that if it does retrace, you won't end up closing with a loss. So as you can see, we decided to close off our trades right over here, and eventually we took over 300 pips on US30, which was absolutely lovely for just one single day. On a Friday, we closed off the market with good profits, and you already know that weekends are for withdrawal. And the good thing about this trade is we had a sniper entry. We caught it right at the spot where it decided to reverse and continue to the upside, and as sure as anything, the market ended up hitting all of our take profits, as you can see right over here, which brings us to our lovely analysis for today. Now, before we dive into all of that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We trade the Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You already know what's up. Don't forget to hit that like button, turn on your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. We had an absolutely lovely week, guys. Look at this movement right over here. I bet a lot of traders have never seen anything like this. What is this? It's either you enjoyed this movement with us, or you simply were just relaxing, because I don't think anyone wanted to sell US30 after that weekly analysis that we had, or sell the Nasdaq after that weekly analysis that we had. We said that we're going to be looking for buying positions. Also, we are on an uptrend, and look at how the market just bought and pushed right through to the upside. This is a 30-minute time frame. Each candlestick here is representing 30 minutes. What a lovely, trade that we had right over here. So we're going to go ahead and delete everything. This was a good trade, absolutely love. And then of course, this is now our support level, which was just broken out of. This is our new support, and then right over here is our new resistance level. It is very simple. So what you just have to take note of right now is the movement that the market made as it pushed up to the top, right? You can clearly see, we had something like this before, right? Let me just see. Yeah, it almost looks like the same setup that we had as we broke out. You see, when the market trends like this right over here, I'm always telling you that the market is always repeating itself, right? It was ranging like this. It broke out to the top. It formed this little, resistance zone. We capitalized on this in the previous video, if you do remember, and then it pushed up to the top. That's exactly what it's doing right over here. Just notice it's ranging like this. It's ranging like this right now, and then it wants to push up to the top, and then it's forming this little area right over here, so it continues to push up to the upside. Now, what you should understand as a good trader is the market does what the market wants to do. You should be able to trade whatever the market then gives. Yes, using technical analysis, that's exactly what the market should do. It broke out of a level, it should retest. Probably use this zone as a retest, or use the zone that it broke out of as a retest. It can also even use this level here as a retest and then push up to the upside, or it can decide to just push up right over here and keep going to the upside, or it can even decide not to retest at all and then keep dropping to these levels and keep going down. Now you should be able to trade all of these market conditions. You should know when the sellers are stepping into the market, when the buyers are in control of the market, and etc. Right? So what I'm saying is, on US30, we simply want, at the spot, I won't want to trade in this region right over here, and also at the spot right over here. So we already know that the market is really still pretty excited, so it doesn't make sense for us to use 30-minute or lower time frames for our analysis. For now, we're going to go on ahead and go to the daily time frame, and then on the daily time frame, you can clearly see the levels, the points of interest we would probably want. It's going to be this first zone right over here. It's if the market breaks out of this level on the lower time frame, and we'll still now continue with the way we always trade, or it comes back to this level, want to look for buying positions there, or it even comes back to the previous highs that it had, that it broke out of. You can clearly see that those highs have not yet been retested, and then if it does get to that level, we'll probably find good buying spots for US30 at that zone right over this. Nothing too complicated, our usual analysis. Let's go to the Nasdaq. What is the Nasdaq saying? Go on ahead and delete every single thing that we have. So Nasdaq did move. You can clearly see a 3-day bullish move that we had on Nasdaq. Absolutely lovely trade that we caught right over there. These were the highs on Nasdaq. You can see also the same thing I'm saying. They have not yet been retested. I want to see what this level is all about on the lower time frame that it had right over there. Oh yeah, we can see that that is a point of interest that we're having on Nasdaq. So just the same thing we have on Nasdaq and US30 is we're going to still look for the breakouts of these levels. If it does, we'll capitalize on those breakouts, because if the market wants to continue with a healthy trend, it should give us a new high all the time, right? So if it does break out and wants to continue with the trend, we should expect to see a new high, right? Or if it does retrace to these levels, this is going to be a tricky zone to want to buy buy, because yeah, I see a lot of institutional money resting at these zones. So the market would want to drop to these levels first before pushing up to the upside. But of course, buying positions would still be good to look for in these respected areas that I have marked up over. And we really did have a nice trade as we closed out the week on Nasdaq at this spot right over here. You can clearly see the same thing I was explaining is we have a point of interest. The market got to that level, it lost momentum right over here. We saw the buyers stepping in, we went into a trade at the zone, and then we rode it up to the top. Those that were using buying limit, I think I have one student like that had such a lovely trade on, yes, you can clearly see that this is the Nasdaq trade. We had Timothy right over here. Shout out to Timothy. Last week it was Collins, shout out to him. This week is Timothy. You can clearly see such a sniper entry right over here on the Nasdaq. This is the 30-minute time frame. He took the trade right over here and it went all the way up to the top with him, and it hit his final take profit, which is absolutely lovely. So that's what we're looking at also on Nasdaq. We'll see a potential retracement to this level. It's a strong zone. Also want to see the market rejecting at this level. You can get 1 or 2 pips in this zone, and then the way I always trade, monitoring my trades, moving up my stop loss, all of those things, you'd want to do that, as it will probably want to form a little range before it pushes up to the top, or it would actually just want to break and go back down to find, you know, a breathing space in these levels, and then you'd want to ride it up again to the top if it does that. Now let's go over to gold and see what gold is saying right over here. And if you do remember, in the previous video that I dropped, I did say that we were seeing the buyers stepping in to the gold market, and we were at this level, I think around about this level, and then we rode this movement to the upside. And then let me just start by deleting every single thing that I have right over here and see what gold is saying to us on the larger time frame. So unlike the indices, Nasdaq, US 30, the S&P 500, and you know, the Russell, etc., we did see them pushing to the upside. Gold did not actually push to the upside. Instead, it dropped, as you can see right over here. So we're going to start off by drawing a little nice trend line, which I don't really like because it's not giving me the overall picture of what the market wants to do. So I would like to use my lowest swing point, which is that one right over here, and connect it to the next one, which would be this one. And then this becomes a little zone right over here. So this is what we're looking at on gold. And then at that level, we can take out a little trend within the trend, which we will use from this level probably. And gold does look like it is selling more than it wants to buy, because you can clearly see that this becomes in, well, not yet, let's just leave that there, but I don't like using a lot of lines, right? So we were having a little resistance level right over here. It was broken out of, turned into a support. But you can see that right now at the spot, no one is actually in control of this market. If we're using technical analysis, we have a trend line that gold broke out of, and this could be used as a retest. If this candle opens at its close like this, we could say that the market wants to retest. We could say that the market has retested this trend line right over here and wants to write it down to the next zone, which would be right at this level. So I would not say we look for buying positions on gold at this spot yet, because you can clearly see that the odds would be against us. We already have the sellers in control of this market from this level when they dropped it right down to this zone. So the only time I would want to look for a buying position is if gold comes to this zone. So right over here, this would be the zone where I want to look for buying positions on gold, or if it actually breaks out of this level that it would be forming. So it will be playing around like this, breaks out, and then, you know, comes into this level. My next zone would be this one. Also, if it breaks out of that one, my next zone would be this one. But before that, I want to see gold coming to my points of interest before I actually then, you know, look for buying positions. So that's about it, nothing too complicated. And one thing that I actually forgot to look at was if we have news. But sure, you know that after NFP, all of those other things, we're going to have CPI. As you can see on Wednesday right over here, we do have CPI. We're going to have Mr. Powell speaking on Thursday, and then also on Friday we're going to be having crazy news. So that's about it. The market will be volatile from Wednesday to Friday basically, and then Mondays are always trap days. We want to be careful. Tuesday would be a good trading day. Wednesday we also want to be careful throughout to Friday, because we're going to be seeing a lot of news events in the market, right? So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button, turn on your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Before me with that, it's been Tino, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.